Verbal or life.
And we're live. Elon Musk is now dark mega. He went to the rally in Butler, PA, and exploded. Everybody loves his appearance, and we are headed towards the finish line of the election. Less than 30 days. This is crazy. Welcome to Verbal on Life. My name is Noel, and I'm back here to give you some news. Today, we're going to watch a video of Elon Musk talking to Tucker Carlson and explaining in more details why he thinks that this might be our last election if Trump doesn't win. And like always, Elon Musk makes a lot of sense, like a lot of people do, but he's just not afraid to put it out there. And that's the biggest fear, to gain so many enemies and people against you, so people hold back. And that's where the cancel culture came out of. Like, if you talk against the Democratic Party, you're gonna lose hard. But let me take a look at the video clip here. And by the way, I had an episode yesterday. Here I am battling MS, but I can't believe I woke up today and I'm good to go, good to talk. My dogs are barking. All right, let's take a look at the video.
The machine that the Kamala puppet represents.
Yeah, she's irrelevant. I mean, she's not even.
No. Like I made a joke which I realized I deleted, which is like nobody's even bothering to try to kill Kamala because it's pointless. What do you achieve? Nothing.
No, it's totally
just find
right.
another puppet.
Exactly. That's
It's no point in killing.
it's deep and true, though.
Nobody's trying to kill Joe Biden.
It's in,
It would be
bless you.
pointless.
Totally. What do you mean? You actually put that up?
Yeah. Now some people interpreted it as though I was calling for people to
Of course.
assassinate her. But I was like, no, even I was like, doesn't it seem strange that no one's even bothered to try?
It's not worth it.
I mean,
There's an endless supply.
yeah, like nobody would. It's absurd.
It
Like,
could be anybody.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna try to. Nobody tries to assassinate a puppet.
Of course not.
Um,
A marionette.
yeah, marionette. It's just like,
That's hilarious.
yeah.
What?
She's safe. Like, I like to try to kill Trump twice with actual guns and bullets.
Oh yeah.
Certainly, yeah, right in fucking Butler where I was, and
He doesn't seem rattled. It's weird. Does he to you?
it doesn't seem what.
Rattled.
He's the constitution of an ox. It seems. So it's not like working out and eating healthy. And he's
Okay, we gotta tape this.
yeah, we're good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So
he's not like, let me eat another salad. That's not no, or work out. Fastidiously. That's he. I feel like how he doesn't work out and he eats cheeseburgers and Diet Coke and stuff. And because I think it just inherently has a strong constitution.
So when you were just with him, he didn't seem like a man who'd been the subject of 2 assassination attempts.
No, he seemed of sound mind and body and strong backbone.
Did you?
I mean, that's what I said in the thing.
Yeah.
The remarks I made there were impromptu. There's no teleprompter or anything. I was speaking extemporaneously.
Are you the only rich guy who doesn't have like a media consultant?
Media consultants.
Yeah, no, I've noticed.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I just no, I just thought about what I want to say, and I just spoke off the cuff. No teleprompter, nothing.
Good for you.
Yeah, I can talk. Just look like now. I'm just talking. Look at me. Wow, amazing. I can't even believe it. I can talk without a teleprompter. That's crazy.
But if he loses, it's going to be hard for you to pretend you never supported him.
All in.
So basically, if Trump loses, you're the guy that went up against us or the Democratic Party. That's what they're going to see it. So that means you're going to be in big trouble, right? You got to be ready to fight the machine that's going to be like not giving you the contract that you want because you're a government employee or you're employed by the government. But look at this man laughing.
In the deep end.
Yeah, no, you are definitely in the deep end. You cannot touch bottom.
No, I'm like rolling around. I'm like a pig in mud. I'm like, it's all in, baby.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, there may be some in the hopefully unlikely event that he loses. There may be some vengeance on me.
Were you kidding?
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible. You've got to be one of the biggest government contractors.
We do essential work for the government.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not like we do useful essential work.
Right.
That we compete for and win contracts on because our product is much better
Right.
and costs less. That's why we get government
No, I
contracts.
know.
and I mean, if you take, for example, the NASA contract to transport astronauts to and from the space station, NASA awarded 2 contracts at the start, one to Boeing and one to SpaceX. Boeing was awarded twice as much as SpaceX. SpaceX has done all the astronaut transport from the space station, and Boeing has only done one.
Got to give props to Elon Musk. He's able to do all of this without the need of government contracts, like without their help. Like he knows how to put money together, put 2 and 2 together. I mean, it's obvious, and just get things going without the need, or without the wait for the government to jump in and help. Because a lot of people need that. You know, I can't do anything without any help. But not Elon. He figures it out. And not only when he figures it out, he puts out product that make everybody involved money.
Transport of 2 astronauts to the space station, and we had to bring them back. Boeing got twice as much as SpaceX. There's this total misunderstanding that my companies have been subsidized and supported by the government and get all these. And it's like, do you really think that a Biden administration is going to subsidize me?
Probably not.
Are you kidding? No. In fact, they take away every contract they possibly can. So, for example, there was the FCC contract to $42 billion for providing rural broadband.
Yes.
Okay. We actually first said, look, we think there shouldn't be any subsidies, so we recommend that this program just not exist. But since you're insisting that it exists, we will compete, and we have better products. So we won, I don't know, about a quarter of it, which would have included the devastated areas like North Carolina and stuff. And the FCC took it away illegally. They just voted. 3 out of 5 commissioners voted away and said, even though you want it, we're sending it.
On what grounds?
And do you know how many people they've connected?
How many?
0.
So you think that was political?
Well, the 3 Democrats voted against it. And the 2 Republicans voted for it.
So you tried to get Starlink. You tried to get Starlink
Yes.
into North Carolina, into Western North Carolina.
You know, it's nice to see how politics and business intermingle. Like when you talk about politics and anything with the government, it's not a lot of money. They don't make a lot of money directly, like through salary. But now when you mix it up with politics and capitalism, I guess they get back end money. That all these private companies that want to make money, they go ahead and tips them off and tip people off that work in government. So I think it is Elon Musk is making it so clear that he's up against the Democrat, and he's not getting the contracts. He's not getting the money. Some people need to be paid off. So like that, the government contract goes towards Elon.
The area is devastated by the hurricane.
We have it is in there, and it is the primary means of communication in the devastated areas.
You had conflict with Buttigieg over this.
Well, I raised I said, look, we had delivered. We've been delivering Starlink terminals there for a while, and obviously some people already had them since that private individuals that had Starlink there already. We delivered thousands of terminals and got all the way up to the areas where they wouldn't let us go any further. And then we're like, okay, we're going to send helicopters in and find people who are stranded and give them Starlink terminals, which I think is a nice thing to do. Okay, they wouldn't let us land because there was an FAA notice to M and NOTAM that said in order to land, you have to know who you're going to meet with to land. Now the problem is we're trying to deliver internet communications. People don't have internet communications. We don't know who they are, but then they can't reach us because they don't have communications. Do you see the catch-22?
Yes, I do.
Insane. So it's obviously impossible for people who don't have internet communications to let us know who they are.
At this point, this would have been great for the government to show how much they help people. Like they should have went all in just to make an appearance that they do so much to help people in need, right? So in this disaster, they should have had helicopters and the government and army suits, everybody going in there, and it would have made the government look amazing. Like as soon as it's chaos, the government steps in. That's like our tax money being used for something helpful. So that I would have applauded, but they missed that opportunity. The government just missed it.
Because they don't have the internet.
Yes.
And so
did you explain this to the federal government?
yes.
What did they say?
They fixed it.
How was Buttigieg when you talked to him?
He was actually good. So I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to give Buttigieg some credit here. First, when I complained about it, he reacted in a very level-headed way, and he reached out to me and he called me.
Yeah.
And we discussed the issue, got to the bottom of it, and he fixed it.
Good.
So credit to Buttigieg.
Yeah. Well, and to you for pushing it.
Yeah. I mean, but as soon as he was aware of the problem, he fixed it.
Well, you publicized it too on it.
Yeah.
As soon as you shamed him.
Well, but I do want to give credit where it's due.
Yeah. No, amen.
So,
I agree completely. So, but back to the original question, about the potential consequences if, having gone all in, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to have thought about this long and hard before you did it. What was your thinking?
I mean, yeah. So my view is that if Trump doesn't win this election, it's the last election we're going to have. The Democrats, the Dem machine, has been importing so many people, bringing in so many illegals, flying in with this like CBP border app thing that nobody even knew about, like secret program. That's illegal, basically. It's illegal, but there's no action by DOJ to actually to stop it from happening. They're transporting large numbers of illegals to swing states. If you look at the numbers, these are the numbers from the government website. So, like from the Democrat-administered government websites. Like, where do you get this data? From the government website that is run by Democrats. And there are triple-digit increases in illegals to all the swing states. And in some cases, it's like 700% over the last 3 years. Now, these swing state margins are, sometimes 10, 20,000 votes. So what happens if you put, hundreds of thousands of people into each swing state? And for this, when somebody is granted asylum, they are fast-tracked. They can get a green card, and then 5 years after the green card, they can get citizenship and they can fully legally vote. And when they do so, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. And sometimes I get this rebuttal of like, well, a lot of them, their social values don't align with sort of the far left sort of woke ideology. Yeah. I said that's true, but that's not their top priority. Their top priority is getting their friends and family also to the United States, and the Dems also issue all these programs, these sort of handouts essentially, and make them beholden to the Democratic Party. So they vote down. That's what happens. So my prediction is, if there's another 4 years of a Dem administration, they will legalize so many illegals that are there that the next election there won't be any swing states, and we'll be a single party country, just like California is a single party state. That's a supermajority Dem state in California
because of immigration.
I wonder why Elon Musk is so much into being fair. You know what I mean? Like, most people work on being fair to themselves, being fair to their pockets, right? But not so much being fair to humanity or being fair to what we have in this country. Like, we have like a great country with great amendments. And it sounds corny, but it's the truth, So I love the fact that Elon Musk just wants to keep the democracy going how it's supposed to be, how it's written, instead of other characters recreating it or remaking it and playing a different game, breaking the rules, and knowing how to do it, that nobody notices what's going on. Nobody notices why we need illegal immigrants, right? So a lot of people build their truth in terms of fairness and using other people, using all the unfairness of life to say racism, to say that's not fair to the LGBTQ plus, to the not fair to this, not fair to that. But behind closed doors, when nobody's looking, millions of illegal criminals are coming into the country. And it's just, I think it goes to show, man, that there may be a God in heaven, because why is Elon Musk fighting in favor of fairness when he got everything going for him? The richest man on earth fighting for fairness. That's insane.
Yes, California was fairly reliably Republican.
Because think about it for yourself, right? If you're making millions and then multi-millions and then billions, all you really care about is yourself. And the more and more money you make, the shorter and shorter your circle becomes. Less friends, less family, right? Because everybody's just going in for the grab, for the money grab. And you end up just reaching the top all by yourself with a chosen few. So Elon Musk is up there, but yet he sees fairness in humanity. He understands, like, wait a minute, we have a decrease in humanity. Birth rate is low. We're having trouble. We need to defend people. We need people to survive. We need everybody to be aware that we need people on Earth. And we're not doing it the right way. And the people at the top, there's a lot of people talking about we're overpopulated and we need to push abortion. Those are the actual evil people. I mean, you grow up with a different understanding that the world is overpopulated. Maybe we got to get rid of people and let God sort them out. But let's keep listening.
Bill Clinton lost California in 92 and won West Virginia.
Yes. So there was a 1986 amnesty.
Yes.
Thereafter, California trended very strongly Dem, and is at this point, I think, 65, 70% Dem, something like that. It's supermajority Dem. Like the California legislature
Yes.
is more than 2/3 Democrat.
Has it improved the state?
No, it's not. And California just passed, which is shocking. It's hard to believe this is even real, but California just passed a law making it illegal to require voter ID in any election at all in California.
That's crazy.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Newsom signed it into law last week.
It's illegal to require an ID.
In any election, even a town council. And a friend of mine who lives in Palo Alto was like, is this actually real? And he went to vote in some city council election. He tried to show them his ID, and they said, "We're not even allowed to look at your ID."
Like, how is that
Have
even?
they extended this?
How is that even possible? Like, wow, to get a large group of people to believe in this law and sign it. You know what I mean? Like, everybody, hey, this is what we're doing. We agree on this. So you have a lot of senators or whoever it is that approve the law agree to this. Like, let's not be racist, no IDs. You know what? That means I could go and vote, get out, go around the block, come back and vote again. Around the block, come back and vote again, over and over again. And you know what? There's intellectuals out there saying, well, that's not possible. You can't do that. But this sounds like it. This sounds so ridiculous. No ID. And shocking. Unbelievable. Like, Elon is saying it. You know what makes me do? Go fact check. Now I got to go on the internet to find out if it's true. Because if it is, why are more and more people upset over it? It's like there's a small group of people who think, the intellectuals know what they're doing. So there's no need to check or go up against them. But this is insane. No ID.
Actually, what's going on right now.
But
By the way, they're proud of it. They're not hiding it.
But it's
also
only
law.
voting. It's not buying a gun or buying liquor or buying a pack of cigarettes or flying on an airplane or renting a hotel room. It's only voting that it's illegal.
Oh, if you try to buy a gun, I mean, they're going to ID you 6 ways a Sunday. California's trying to make it basically illegal to own a gun. And the same people that demanded vaccine IDs if you want to travel or do anything are the same ones who say no voter ID is required.
Is there any reason
Obviously hypocritical
to pass a law like that except to abet voter fraud?
It's so that fraud cannot be proven. So it enables large scale fraud and no way to prove it, because how would you prove it? It's literally impossible. No ID. You're not even allowed to show your ID. It's insane.
Well, it is insane.
Insane. The purpose of no voter ID is obviously to conduct fraud in elections. Obviously.
There can be no other explanation.
I mean, they come up with some nice sounding thing.
People don't have ID.
Exactly. The intellectuals come up with a nice, carefully drawn reasoning why we don't need ID, how we're better than that. It's only voting. It's not buying liquor or buying a gun. And people are buying into it because they don't see the connection between politics and capitalism. You got all these millionaire senators making government money. How in the hell did they become multimillionaires with a salary, with a government salary?
IDs? Could you live in this country without an ID?
Yeah, I mean, their common rebuttal is like it's racist to require ID, and which is insane. I think it's actually racist and patronizing to say that people can't figure out how to get ID. Obviously,
but how could you live here without an ID? I don't think it's even possible.
Can't.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
You need ID for everything. Like the list of things you need ID for is basically everything, except voting. So
you see the rest of the
it's
country.
total bullshit, obviously.
Obviously.
Yes.
But that doesn't in any way minimize the aggression or self-righteousness they bring to this conversation.
Yes.
You're a racist if you want that.
Right. Whereas, in fact, obviously, someone is racist if they say that people of a particular race cannot get ID. That's patronizing and racist. That's absurd.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when the governor of New York said people in the ghetto don't know how to use computers or something like that. I mean, like, super out of touch.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So
it's like, hello.
So there's a really clear
Maybe
template.
she doesn't know how to use computers, but they do. Obviously.
I don't think Coco could use a computer.
Yeah, I don't think
She's not qualified intellectually.
Yeah, no, probably not.
But not everyone in New York is as dumb as Kathy Hochul. I think that's true.
Yeah.
So you see the other 49 states becoming California if the machine wins.
Well, you don't need all 49 to go that way. You just need enough to have the election, have there not be swing states. I mean, there are only 6.
So I wonder what's going to happen if Kamala wins. Like, people are going to be shocked that she got to win without even having a real conversation on TV or without having a sit down with a news reporter. Like, what are we doing? It's going to be crazy. If you picture November 5th, election night, how insane it's going to be if Trump loses. Like, if she gets, I don't know, over 80 million votes, whatever number Trump gets, she'll get 10 million more. That'll be insane.
Swing states.
Yep.
So there are only 6 states out of 50 right now that are in contention. So if those 6 states that are in contention by narrow margins are no longer in contention, then the only contest will be who wins the Democratic primary. That's how it is in California. That's how it is in New York. There's no party versus party situation. The only contest is who wins the Democratic primary. And as we've seen with the appointment of Kamala, who no one voted for, even in the Democratic primary.
Yes.
Where's the democracy here?
Well, it's easier though.
I mean, it's just that the Dem party elite just decides
Yes.
who is in charge. That's a tiny oligarchy basically.
Comprised of
That's not democracy.
the richest people in the country. That's kind of the interesting part to me, is that the richest people in the country are on board with this. I mean, that's what it is. It's a collection of billionaires.
Well,
right?
most of them are, yeah.
But you're not.
Not me, and not everyone is. I think there's, but it is a shocking number of so-called billionaires are in the Dem camp, more than are in the Republican camp.
Oh, for sure.
Which is wild. So in fact, the astonishing thing in the swing states is that they're even a contest, given that the Dems have far more money than the Republicans. So the Kamala campaign dramatically outspends the Trump campaign in the swing states. The media is overwhelmingly pro-Democrat. So you've got the press is a Dem cheering squad, and
you know what's crazy? That having Trump on the ticket is making it so obvious. Like, it's so obvious to see. Like, it's so clear to see. I mean, that they are pro-Democrat. Like, I would have never in a million years thought that this was a pro-Democrat team, the mainstream media. I always thought they were fair and balanced. They really go hard on the Republicans and go hard on the Democrats. And now, for the first time, Trump, a lifelong Democrat running on the Republican ticket, they're making it so clear that I used to be fan of a lot of these channels. I used to watch MSNBC religiously, CNN religiously, like the best news source out there. And now I just watch it in shock. Like, are you serious? Is this really what they're doing? They keep talking about Trump like this. A threat to democracy. What are we doing? And not only that, when things happen, they don't change, right? The narrative doesn't change. They really stick to the narrative. You're like, this man just got shot on live TV. Quit the narrative for maybe a day or two, but then back to threat to democracy. So surprising that a lot of people don't see it. I don't know what they're watching or who they're listening to, but this is so obvious. Especially, there's a whole bunch of people saying that Trump staged this. Who staged a gunshot to the face? insane. But it takes time. With people, it takes time. They got to come around and see the truth.
So and then you've got also almost all the Hollywood and entertainment, the celebrities also endorsing Kamala and being pro Dem. So you got the celebrities, they got the money, they got basically everything on the side of the Dems. The Republicans are the underdog here. Trump's the underdog in swing states, and still it's a contentious. It's still a 50-50. After all that,
what does that tell you?
It tells me that if people actually knew what was going on, they weren't being fed nonstop propaganda, it would be a landslide in favor of Republicans.
Yeah.
Well, how's this for crazy? Has there ever been a more volatile time in American politics?
If people knew what was truly going on, just to shut them up and set things straight, everybody should be Republican at this point. Again, I got Democratic friends that really, really hate Trump. They bought into the idea that Trump is an existential threat. And they refuse to open their eyes and see what's going on and to know that this could be them, right? Because I guess people don't see themselves as millionaire, billionaire, so it's never going to be them, but this could be you. That's the way I see it. They're running a commercial right now. At the end of the day, we're living in some crazy times. And I think more people are just going to wake up to the truth in terms of either not go vote, and those who show up are the ones that are going to be voting Trump, because we got to see a change. And this is a change that we all wanted to see. I remember when I was younger, we used to say the government doesn't know how to manage themselves. The government doesn't know how to manage money. They're really so dumb. It is such an easy thing to do, right? That's all the complaints I would hear from friends, and definitely in the academic world. And finally, we got a rich billionaire, Trump, walking in there and see that, yeah, it is true. Everything is mismanaged. They don't know how to manage money. They don't know what they're doing. And he's doing it right? Where everything got dropped down, all the prices got dropped down, and things were doing way better under Trump. And most people remember, but the media is going above and beyond to make sure you forget. And that you think that all the problems in the world today is because of Trump, when in reality, they're not. Let's keep listening.
Why not join the easier side? I mean, you're creating problems for yourself by getting on stage with Trump. And I mean, you must have had friends who said that to you.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. People care about you. Like, why even get involved in this?
Well, because I think we want to remain a democracy, and we don't want to become a one-party state.
Yes.
That's the reason. And it's the exact opposite. The people call Trump a threat to democracy, but the people who are saying Trump's a threat to democracy are themselves the threat to democracy.
Yes.
One-party rule is not democracy. One party where essentially the party elite pick a candidate, as happened with Kamala, is not democracy. Where did the people vote? Show me where the people voted. No, there were no people voting. It was all just Dem party elite that just appointed someone. And when the Biden puppet, when the pro-Biden puppet's ratings sagged, they knocked him in the back immediately and just tossed him out and put a new puppet on. That's exactly what happened. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, not only you're right. I mean, it's almost not even worth criticizing Kamala Harris.
No, exactly.
What does she have to do with it?
There's no point in criticizing Kamala. She's simply the face of a much larger machine.
Yes.
And she will say whatever the teleprompter, whatever's on the teleprompter, she's going to say it.
Yes.
Now she gets stuck if the teleprompter breaks. That happened recently. I think the teleprompter stalled, and she was just like looping for a while, for about a minute. So I think that happened yesterday or something. It was pretty funny to watch. But she'll just say whatever words are on the teleprompter. So, it's really whoever controls the teleprompter is the actual sort of, that's who's actually in charge.
And who is that, do you think?
Well, I've tried to pin it down. It's not like any one kind of mastermind. It's not like, it seems to be, it's like Kamala's sort of a marionette with, 1,000 puppet masters type of thing. Like not, it's or maybe it's somewhere north of 100 is what it seems like.
Yes. I bet you know 80 of them.
I probably know most of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, just by virtue of your job and what you've been doing for the last 30 years, I mean,
yeah.
And I should say, I think you voted for Biden.
I'd like.
That's crazy that he knows the puppet masters. It got to be like the elite. So if he knows the puppet masters, that means they have conversations and talk about expectations, wink, wink, of what's going to happen, what's going to change. And now it's crazy that Elon Musk sees this as unfair. I mean, this is like a God intervention. How else can this man just one day wake up and see what's unfair and talk about it? Like in every job you got, when things are unfair, the only thing that really an employee could do is change jobs, go work somewhere else. Yes, there's things that are unfair in this particular job, but it is what it is. You got to take it and work with the unfairness, or you move on. Go do your own thing. Start your own company. So here we got Elon Musk. He is the company. So, and he's bold enough to actually speak about things being unfair. Because when you work somewhere, you got to keep your mouth shut, do your job, or go start your own thing. Because as soon as you complain, you're fired. You got to learn how to keep your mouth shut in order for things to work. I mean, in my opinion.
I'd like to see a matchup of those, we call it the top 100 puppet masters on the Epstein client list.
Do you think there's some overlap?
Strong overlap. Strong overlap.
When are we going to see that list, do you think?
I don't know. It's mind-blowing that they've not tried to prosecute even one. Not even the worst offender on the Epstein client list. They've not even tried to prosecute even one. That's insane.
Well, because they have a lot of diabetic grandmothers who were outside the Capitol on January 6th. They're kind of occupied.
Yeah, I mean, they've put like whatever, 500 or 600 January 6th protesters in prison, and not one person on the Epstein client list.
Will that ever come out, do you think?
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes. And Gates.
And Gates.
Yeah.
And I only ask that because you just look at them and you're like, that's a nervous person right there. I don't know. I mean, I assume you know them. Yeah.
Yes. Reid Hoffman was my vice president of business development at PayPal.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that he's even talking like this. He's not afraid of getting sued.
24 years ago.
Does he seem nervous to you?
Yeah, I mean, he's terrified of a Trump victory.
Because of the disclosure that would follow?
I think, yeah, I mean, I think he's certainly ideologically not aligned with Trump anyway, but I think he is concerned about the Epstein situation. Like something might actually, the DOJ might actually move forward.
There are a lot of videos, apparently. Those rooms on the island, and I think out in New Mexico, were wired for video.
Right.
And
where's the video? I mean, between Diddy and Epstein, there's probably several thousand hours of footage here.
Yeah.
He said between Diddy and Epstein. So Diddy is like the entertainment Hollywood Epstein that recorded everything and got I guess information on everybody. But for Elon Musk, again, to not be afraid of getting sued, that means he got to have something, because otherwise you can't really talk bad about anybody. A defamation lawsuit right off the bat, especially against a billionaire. So there's money there and you're going to get paid. But like I said, the best route of anybody in any job is just to keep your mouth shut. Thank you, Elon, for talking. Let's see what else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that the people on those videos are lecturing the rest of us about our moral failings, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
What is that?
Well, I mean, part of how they deflect attention from themselves is by, criticizing the morals of others.
Yes.
So it's sort of like a preemptive moral strike.
Yes.
I mean, as I said, I think those who are saying Trump is a threat to democracy are themselves actually the threat to democracy.
It feels like we're getting to a place where the rest of us know too much. Is this? Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's easier to live in a society where you don't really know what the people in charge are doing or why they're doing it. But now, thanks, I would say largely to X.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say that.
Yeah.
We do know a lot, not everything, but we know a lot. And I wonder, where does that, like, what happens next now that we know all this? The kidnapper's shown us his face. Like, what happens?
Well, I think if Trump wins, we can do some house cleaning and shed light on things.
And it's going to be some crazy 4 years if Trump wins, because that means that Trump is going to start getting attacked, lawsuits left and right, everybody trying to take him down while he fights against everybody plus the outer world. I mean, other countries. I say outer world. He's going to be fighting other countries like he did last time, plus all the internal fights. And yeah, he's going to need definitely support and help of all other millionaires like Elon Musk and people who will side with Trump. More than just regular people, you know? Yes, the regular people got to support him, but the millionaires on top got to also do it.
Yeah, all the X platform does is adhere to freedom of speech within the bounds of the law.
Yes.
And if people want to change the laws, they can change the laws. And so, like X in different countries, X does censor in countries where censorship is the law. We don't try to, push American laws in other countries, but we do try to stick to the law in any given country. That's what we're doing. We open source our algorithm. We try to be as transparent as possible. But those who want to push lies obviously hate truth and transparency.
Yes,
because it shows them to be liars. I mean, you look at that, like how outrageous it was that Kamala in the presidential debate kept pushing the fine people hoax. They know the fine people hoax is false. Trump would never support Nazis, Nazi rally. It's absurd. And he explicitly said that in that same speech that you must condemn anyone who has Nazi tendencies in the strongest possible terms. And yet, despite knowing that to be false, the people who wrote the speech for the Kamala puppet put the fine people hoax in the presidential debate. Deliberately lying. Again. Mess up.
If she wins, I mean, how can they let X continue?
Exactly.
Form in its current role in American society.
Exactly.
They won't. They will try to shut it down by any means possible.
What do you mean by any means possible?
I mean, either by they'll try to pass laws. They'll try to prosecute the company, prosecute me. The amount of lawfare that we're seeing taking place is outrageous. There are many examples, but like the Department of Justice, for example, launched a huge lawsuit against SpaceX for failing to hire asylum seekers.
Come on.
Yeah,
asylum seekers?
Not asylum, those who've been granted asylum seekers. Now there's also a law called International Traffic and Arms Regulations that because SpaceX develops advanced missile technology that can be used in nuclear ICBMs, that we have to be very careful with who we hire. We can only hire someone if they're a permanent resident or a citizen. That's what the ITAR law says. Then there's another law that says that you cannot discriminate against asylum seekers. So we're damned if you do, damned if you don't. The DOJ did a massive lawsuit against SpaceX for failing to hire asylum seekers, even though it is illegal for us to hire asylum seekers under ITAR law.
This is like the same lawfare that they're using against Trump, meaning that you could use lawfare against anyone they deem a threat to their power. That's crazy. How I guess the government is paying off lawyers to go up against whoever they deem to be a threat. That's crazy.
It's a natural thing that's going on, and they can only do a fairly small number of lawsuits every year. So why they pick this one?
Because you're X.
Yeah, lawfare.
I mean,
it's like that famous quote from Beria, Stalin's like chief torturer and head of the secret police. But Beria said, "Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime."
Exactly.
I mean, we have so many laws that it is actually impossible to, impossible to do business, impossible to operate without being violating some law because you have laws like the ones I just gave you, where both things are illegal.
Yes, they contradict one another.
They contradict one another. So it's illegal to discriminate against asylum seekers in jobs, but it's also illegal for us to hire asylum seekers.
That's what Elon Musk, once Trump wins, he's going to go in there and get rid of all these laws that make no sense. That shows taxpayer waste of money, right? Because they only have enough money to pay lawyers to do certain lawfare or to go up against somebody. And they're using the money for this, to go up against Elon Musk. So when he goes in there, he's going to clear out all these laws that make no sense. Because right now we got laws that make no sense. They're just there to go up against people. Government power.
But it
so they just chose one. They chose the one law and ignored the other one. And the Department of Justice at federal level prosecuted SpaceX for that.
What do you think?
It's mad.
Well, it also discredits the idea of law, which some of us want to take seriously.
Absolutely. this affects both the perception of American justice and the reality of it.
Yes.
So, no, I'm actually a big fan of the American justice system, and I think, on balance, we've got still have an excellent judicial system. We still have judges that care about the letter and intent of the law. I mean, not just the letter, but also the intent of the law.
Yes.
The best.
But something that people should be concerned about is that there's an increasing movement to place activists as judges. This is, if you look at who did the Biden administration confirm as federal judges, and who are being confirmed at the state level in sort of following states. Increasingly, it is not judges who care about justice, or they don't care about following the law. They care about social justice, not justice.
Right.
What they call social justice.
A bunch of DEI hire who looks at other things aside from the best, or aside from following the law to a T, just wanting to change things up. And that's kind of the reason why they're trying to get rid of the mayor in New York City. The guy that will replace him is a guy named Juma Lee. That guy is insane. He really wants to get rid of the law and wants to, he's pro illegal immigrants. And he's going to switch a lot of things up in New York if he gets in. So let's just pray to God Eric Adams doesn't go or doesn't get arrested before his term ends.
Activists as judges. Now you got a real problem.
Do you think if
that continues, we will not have a real justice system
or a real country?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. But again, your purchase of X has been, I think it's fair to say, even if I hated it, I would say this because it's true. It's been pivotal in American politics.
Yeah.
In American society. Do you think they could shut you down if the Democrats continue to hold power?
They'll unequivocally try.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they get a majority in the Senate and House and the presidency, then they can simply pass a law and delete Section 230. So simply make us liable for what anyone says on a platform with like at this point almost 600 million monthly active users.
Yeah,
which is impossible. That's like trying to regulate speech in city of like a country.
Yeah.
So
a big country.
Yeah, just be instantly bankrupt.
But I bet they wouldn't withdraw legal immunity from the vaccine makers at the same time, would they?
No, that's unlikely.
Just, I mean, as long as we're withdrawing legal liability protection. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the whole vaccine debate is a long one. I'm not anti-vaccine in general. I think we want to exercise caution with use of vaccines, but in the absence of vaccines, there would be a lot more, I think, people that have died. Like we want the smallpox vaccine. That was a good one.
It seems a good one.
Yeah. Smallpox will kill you.
Killed a lot of people.
It killed a lot of people. It used to be a lot of people would die of smallpox, and a lot of people would get polio.
For sure.
Yeah. But the president had polio.
Oh yeah. There's still people. You meet people today.
Yeah.
In their 80s who were limping from childhood polio.
Right. It's good that we don't have that, and vaccines, played a major role in that. So that doesn't mean that vaccines should not have any scrutiny. Of course they should. We should be making sure that the quality control on vaccines is incredibly good, since if we're giving them to children and whatnot. And we shouldn't force people to take vaccines.
That itself is a controversial statement that we shouldn't force people.
We shouldn't force.
Yeah, you can't talk about vaccine on YouTube, so let's just stay quiet about that and move on, because otherwise they used to ban people talking about the vaccine.
We'll take vaccines now. Yeah.
So just to
I believe in freedom.
Yeah, I've noticed.
America's supposed to be the land of liberty. Freedom and opportunity. So that we try to, as much as possible, maximize people's individual liberty, and that we try to be a country where you succeed based on your talent and hard work.
Yes.
Those are two fundamental values. That's what's made America great. And if we lose those, our decline will be swift.
What do you, if you had to bet? I mean, does freedom reassert itself in America, or not?
Well, that's why I think part of why this election is so pivotal. I think with the Trump administration, I think we can improve the liberty of Americans. We can. I think we need to have sensible deregulation. where we keep the regulations that matter. Like we don't want to destroy, important habitats or,
Yes.
Encourage oil spills or anything like that. But there are so many regulatory agencies that have overlapping responsibility that we are smothering progress. And we can't build a high-speed rail in America. Look at the ridiculous high-speed rail project in California, where they've spent $7 billion, and all they've got to show for it is a 1,600-foot section of concrete with no rails on it. The picture of it online.
So it's not that fast yet. We wouldn't say it's high speed at this point, or even rail.
It doesn't even have rail on it. Maybe by now they put some rail on it, but it's this comically small section of rail. $7 billion has been spent, most of it in like environmental consulting and I don't know where, but clearly not in building high-speed rail. So we've got, there are so many different regulatory agencies and so many laws and regulations that prevent progress that if this continues, we simply won't be able to get anything done.
It does seem like the engineers are not getting rich. It's the environmental consultants, the climate consultants, the DEI consultants. A whole consultant class seems to be getting richer by the year, where people with actual skills, the ones that bring actual progress.
Useful things, products and services that you can use.
It's like the people who know how to complain. All right. They're getting paid just to put out there a bunch of complaints that we shouldn't do this. We got to watch out for this. We got to watch out for that. Because in reality, once you work for a company, complaining is the last thing you want to do. You start to complain too much, you end up getting fired. Like, okay, you don't like being here, get out. And not just complain about what needs to change, what needs to be fixed. But all these consultation companies that are just impeding progress, complaining and getting paid to do so, they're the ones who are allowed to complain. And then they just throw a bunch of lawfare against you or against the regular people. And here we are, not being able to move forward. Insane.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is a
trend. Things that if you were like traveling on a desert island, you'd want those people.
Right.
But you wouldn't want environmental consultants.
They seem undercompensated.
It's like you're going to starve.
Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like who are actual builders that get things done, and every year we're making it harder in America for actual builders to get things done. We're in this like weird Ayn Rand Atlas Shrugged scenario, where it's there's yet another regulation, yet another rule, and there's sort of that phrase in Atlas Shrugged, you'll manage. It's like eventually you're like can't get anything done.
Why the hostility though toward people with meaningful skills? It's not a neutral posture they have, and they're enriching themselves obviously by creating fake jobs because they have no skills, and they don't have creative power. So I understand that. But why do they hate people who do have creative power and actual skills? I don't understand that.
That's like their skills. All right. Their skill is turning other people down or turning down successful people and just being jealous. And their success depends on other people's failure. I hate those type of people that they really cheer on you failing. That's when they know they did a good job. I know I'm doing good because I got you down. I'm happy as hell that you're failing. And that's why I'm good. Man, I'm amazing. I was able to take this man down. So that's what's motivating all these people, in my opinion. So many people are like that.
I'm not sure I understand it either because it's difficult for me to put myself in a mindset. Because I'm someone who believes in construction. I build things. That's what I do. I build cars. I build rockets. I build satellite internet. I've spent thousands of hours, tens of thousands of hours in factories, building up factories. So I also I can't really put myself in the mind of say someone who would want to do crime because I don't want to do crime.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt. There's some people who enjoy hurting other people. I don't enjoy hurting other people. So I have a hard time imagining why would somebody do that.
Yes.
In an extreme case, you can't put yourself in the mind of like say a Jeffrey Dahmer where you're like a cannibalistic serial killer because you're not a cannibalistic serial killer.
Right.
And like I don't get it.
It's not a fetish you can relate to.
It's not. I do think this is in the sort of well-meaning sort of liberal mindset. I know I've many good friends who have they have deep empathy for their fellow human beings.
Good.
And they care. But the challenge that they have is that they've often grown up in a very sheltered existence where everyone around them is nice and civilized, and they just really don't encounter people who are have uncontrolled violent tendencies or like hurting people. They've just always grown up in a sort of kumbaya, everyone is nice, skiffy commune situation.
Minneapolis pre-riots. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but there's a small number of people, it's like a few percent of society that either can't have anger management issues that are so severe that they lose their temper and hurt or murder others. And there's a small, it's like I said, it's not a large number that enjoy hurting other people. And if you do not incarcerate them, they will do that.
Yeah.
They will hurt other people. And what I see is what I call shallow empathy. Like people have empathy for the criminals, but not empathy for the victims of the criminals.
Yes.
And
I really hate those people who are really like, there's a bunch of people in jail that got fans that just calls them on a regular, and just goes visit them. Respect, but empathy to get those killers out to commit more crime. That's insane. That's really not caring about the regular or your neighbor, not caring about regular people. Just going by your feelings instead of by the truth or reality.
so if you simply have, and I believe one should have deep empathy to say, like, what is the greater good for society? Is it better to incarcerate violent criminals and prevent them from hurting people, or to let them loose and allow those people to be hurt? And I think the latter is much worse. My mom lives in New York, and it's my mom at this point has gone from being Democrat to Republican, and her friends in New York are having the same experience because.
Hey, the video is unavailable. Great. All right, the video is not playing anymore. Why? Let me see. I guess they took down the video. And it might be YouTube here. Not YouTube. Shout out to YouTube, my favorite network. But for some reason, this came down. Wow, they took it off. Unbelievable. Jeez, I was really just getting into it. All right, let me see if I could find the video. Wow, they took it off. I didn't think that was true. I was just joking. But I guess the video must have ticked off a couple of people that is no longer available. The owners of these networks, they are the ruling class and they get to say whatever they want to say and do whatever it is they want to do. And we are in a position where we don't really have a choice. We got to play the rules as they are. Now, it's a video. I think the video is available on X, as a matter of fact. But yet, personally, I'm streaming through YouTube. So if I go to X and play the video that I see on my YouTube channel, would I get in trouble? Let me double check. Because I think YouTube sends you a warning before taking your channel off. And then they pull the trigger and take your channel off. So I don't know if I'll be in danger of getting my channel knocked out. But if you're still watching, my name is Noel, battling MS over here, just trying to do my best to bring you some live footage. All right, let me switch to this tab. Check out Kamala Harris getting destroyed. So that's a clip that Elon Musk posted on his X platform, destroying Kamala Harris, pointing out the obvious that, wow, you just heard him say it. The numbers have quadrupled under your administration. What are you doing? And she just keep trying to divert the conversation, talking about how great they're doing now, today. Not when they first came in, but today, so far. Now, let me see if that video with Tucker Carlson is on here, because I would love to play it here and do a quick check on what's going on. And looks like it's not here. Oh, wait. Here's part of it. All right, I already played that video clip. What about this one? Keeping it too honest, man. Leave it up to David Chappelle. Speaking the truth. All right. It doesn't, I don't see it. Oh, wait, what about this one? This is just a cut. Just a bunch of small clips. How about this one? You know, it's funny. Vivek Ramaswamy says the same thing, that when you leave a hole in you, it gets filled with other garbage. With the woke mind virus, fills that gap. I honestly never thought about it like that. I was one of the people that says religion is fake. It's not real. I'm not buying into it. So I never bought into the idea of religion. But now, wow, all this is makes sense. That we do need a religion. We got to put our effort and hope into something. But let's keep listening. Right. Exactly. Like I got a problem believing all these stories because they just become stories, and how good of a storyteller the pastor is, whoever it is telling you, right? With no factual evidence. Or the factual evidence they bring are like not necessarily true. It's just depending on the point of view where you watch it, right? And that's one of the problems that I always have with religion. Well, you just have to you have to have faith and believe in the story according to the pastor because he's a good storyteller. That's just been always the way that I see it. But let's see. And with belief, a lot of people use belief to try to get things done, and that never worked, in my opinion. Like I believe I'm going to be rich tomorrow. Just go to bed believing hard that you're going to get $1,000,000. Not necessarily. You got to put it into action. You got to do something. What are you doing? And then try to copy what other people are doing. That's the way to get to the top. What are they doing? What are they doing that I'm not doing? How can we get there? That was always my belief. Figuring that out what others are doing, learning from my experience, but more importantly, learning from other people's experience. What steps are they taking to get to that place in life, that happiness, and that successful stage? My man, you know how many deniers are that there's no way we had the technology to go to the moon and then we lost it? Like, really? You lost the blueprint? It's documented. How can you lose the document that are able to make a rocket to go to the moon? Everything now seems so much Hollywood that it's hard for people to believe. And now it's taking so long to get to the moon that it puts it in doubt. Oh, look, Tucker Carlson. Here we go. Oh, this is it. All right, I'm going to pause it right there because I don't know why YouTube took it off. And I don't know if they're just, what's it called, striking people that may play this video. So let me just get back to just me. Oh, look, your browser has lost connection to your screen share audio. Great. Oh, man. You telling me I did all of this and probably none of the audio got recorded. What a waste. What a waste. So I just wasted an hour of me playing a video that wasn't really playing. It lost the audio. Or may not. Let me go find out. Let me go take a look. Again, if you've been watching this, if you saw any of this video, before you go anywhere, make sure to give this video a like. All right. Losing subscribers like crazy, but never give up. Survived my MS attack yesterday and still here. Peace. Name is Noel.